We're back.
We're back.
A couple of weeks delay, but hey, it's his fault.
Well, yeah, it's I
was sick the one week. My throat had a sore throat. It was bad. It was bad. I was like
out.
It was weird too because it was sore on this and then this side, and I was coughing up stuff and just wouldn't leave for like a week and a half. Finally, got rid of it. But then we were gonna record last Monday. Denise comes home from work, fucking headache and all sick. Like, fuck.
Everybody's just feeling like
crap. You know what? I better just cancel this one too.
Yeah, it's all good.
So you were supposed to be at work tonight too till 8:30, but she come home early, so she's still a little bit under the weather, but
well enough that she can endure the sound of my voice.
We couldn't fucking wait any longer, so sacrifices have to be made.
I've been getting lots of emails of people complaining, like, "What happened? What's going on? Are you guys okay? Was there an issue?"
Really?
People think we're fighting or some. There was a deep analysis of our previous episode where people were looking through, going, "Did something happen? Did Dan piss Doug off?"
Well, yes, that's a given.
Every episode, at least once.
That's part of the fucking show, but I follow I don't give a fuck list.
And me, I'm just down on Candy Lane because I forgot my offensive mug again. Although I don't know if it's offensive. That's kind of a topic of discussion. But episode 22, the mug.
We'll bring it out and then we'll have viewers decide if it's offensive or not.
Yeah, make it part of the poll, and then our OnlyFans will decide if it's offensive or not.
So,
you want to ask me about my bag?
Well, it's kind of a personal question, but okay, Dan, how's your bag?
We started with personal questions, though. I mean, you have a nice box, and I have an explosive bag. So, I didn't know. It's been a while, so I wasn't sure if there was anything in the fridge. So I brought a couple little friends. That's just for the video, folks. Disaster. Our old friend MGD.
Like MGDs.
Brought a couple of those. I feel like we've had so many shit beers that I wanted to have at least a couple nice ones.
Well, I'll tell you what's in the fridge. There is something in the fridge.
Oh, is there something in the fridge?
But these are probably way better than what's in the fridge.
Well, I still kind of want to know what's in the fridge.
Well, okay.
And then I'll tell you what's really in the bag, which is going to be fun for us. It was a little hidden gem.
You got some edibles.
Oh, they're not edibles. Oh. Although Nat and I were making homemade gummies the other day. Just there's no THC. What am I looking for here?
Oh,
I know it when I see it.
Oh yeah, they're local beers.
I see Collingwood Downhill.
Yeah.
And I see Muskoka Fest Steinsenbein.
That's it.
The Steinsenbein?
There are some. Well, either one.
All right. Well, we'll start with this one. I also brought a Summersby because sometimes you got to wash the taste of shit beer out of your mouth.
Oh, this is.
Wow, that's
an extra tall fucking can.
Look at that. Look at the nub on that, huh?
Feist Stein size beer. Muskoka Brewery. Rise a Stein size can fill with authentic German style fest beer. Traditionally served throughout Oktoberfest, this pale lager is smooth and bready with bold herbal and spicy notes. Celebrate the camaraderie of this season. Fucking October already, baby. Hunting season. Celebrate this camaraderie of this season. Brings by toasting a Stein size. Either this might be a fucking old beer.
Might be.
From last October.
Well, hey, you know what? It's extra tall.
A vessel worthy of being served under the tents of the world's largest beer festivals.
Well, I have said on numerous occasions that I would like to travel to Germany to go to some of the beer festivals. So I guess I should get a taste for German beer before I decide to do that.
Yeah, I got a buddy that travels all around. He says German beer is the best beer, bar none.
Is he a hoppy beer guy though?
No.
I feel like German beer is like
no.
You can feel the hair growing on your nuts as you drink it because it's so hoppy and
Oh,
I
that's
don't
not.
know.
Like another buddy, Marcel, he visits us every once in a while. He lives in Germany. He loves his beer.
Actually, I can smell that already, and it smells nice.
You need more.
I do. Give me the other.
It's like
Holy
we
shit.
almost got fucking full fucking mugs
Almost.
here out of
That's
this.
almost a full mug beer. I like that. All right.
Okay, well, Muskoka Breweries, you're
Well,
up.
Hey, we didn't quite say it the way it deserves to be said. So,
Cheers.
what's in the fridge?
What's in the fucking fridge? Oh, today we're not swearing, so we can.
Oh, well, we just.
So we can put this on fucking YouTube and not get any fucking strikes.
Well, fuck. That's a good fucking idea. Let's fucking do it. Cheers to you, YouTube.
I forgot all about fucking saying that at the beginning, so.
Ah, fuck. It's all right. I now officially can't listen to this in the car now, though. That's good. I like it. It tastes like beer, and it doesn't taste like shit.
But it doesn't taste like strong beer. It's almost
It doesn't. It's very. It's not what I expect. It's 5.5.
Yeah.
I would expect it to have a much stronger.
Maybe it's the carbonation or something. It's very.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I know it doesn't come off wholly unpleasant. I like that.
It's definitely a drinkable beer.
5.68.
I don't know. What's
It
in
ain't,
it, eh?
it ain't no pussy light beer, that's for sure.
Ain't one of those shit fucking cat ass beers we had last time.
Can't even
Muskoka.
remember.
That's good. Good job, Muskoka Breweries. If you want to sponsor our fucking podcast, send us an email at doubledsegments@gmail.com.
Doug will put it on the bottom of the screen there using a text thing. Or he won't. We'll
Maybe it'll
find
just be in the show notes.
Maybe. I'll find out next Monday. Yeah, just put a link. So, the other day, Nat was like, oh, I totally forgot about this. And she brought these things upstairs, and I'm like, oh! First thing I thought was, those would be fun for the podcast. So what we got here is yet another thing that when you have the type of arthritis I have that you should avoid, alcohol and these.
Oh, nice.
The meat sticks.
Oh, yes.
And what we've got here is elk
and boar. Nice.
Yeah. So if we're reviewing beer, we may as well review cured meats as well.
Jesus Christ. Let me see this.
Yeah. So Nat likes to go to the markets and stop at things like that. And every now and then there'll be these people setting up that have just like racks and racks of delicious types of meat. So once in a while, as a treat, I like to have myself some cured meats. I try to avoid them now because of the arthritis issues, but fuck it. Every now and then you got to live.
Wow, I can't believe you had all these little fucking sausages in your bag.
I know.
A whole lot of that's a sausage party for sure.
When I bring my bag out, everybody leaves happy.
Boar. Nice. Hey,
What do you want to do? What do you want to start with? You want to have an elk or do you want to have a boar?
Yeah, whatever. It's nice we're open.
I won't assume that I can just wield
No,
you.
go ahead. No. Yeah, just don't cut. If you cut your fingers off, make sure you get a good picture of it. That'll make good for video.
Well, then you'll get 3 kinds of meat sticks. You ever see the video of the guy, and you can appreciate this.
Careful, sure.
Oh, the video of the guy trying to pull his, oh shit, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
It's all good. That's why that's there.
It's all good.
The guy who's been fucking around with a lion, and it's got his finger, and he's trying to pull his
through
finger
the cage.
through the cage. And at last second, you just see some kind of stringy meat get pulled off.
Yeah, it shreds his finger.
Oh, fuck me, man.
You think he kept the bones, or the bone came off too?
I think it just probably
Like
the skin, and it just shredded
cloved it.
because
Nice.
he's like reefing on it, trying to get. Oh, yeah. I don't. It's like I kind of want to see the aftermath of it, but I also don't. Here, pull on that meat. Just pull it out. There you go. All right, and this is
elk.
PJ's Meats Elk Pepperettes. What do we got here? Oh, they got stuff. Ingredient. Oh, that's just the ingredients. But how is it?
This elk.
That is elk.
Elk is very lean.
Neisen, Sie Kreisen, Bestochen, die Kaufen.
Elk is very lean, and this is very.
Fest.
They didn't put much.
Stein. Schwupp.
Sorry about eating.
Hey, welcome to the Double D podcast. Although this one is the Beer and Meat Sticks podcast. And occasionally, nice sharp steak blade. God damn.
So speaking of fingers getting shredded.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I watched, I think it was on Netflix, called Boy Eats World or Boy Eats Universe.
Boy Kills World?
No. Boy Swallows World.
Boy Swallow.
Boy Swallows Universe.
Speaking of all this meat and bags, we're trying to figure out a movie title, and you just hear his wife in the background. Swallowed! Love it. Boy Swallows World?
Yeah, either world or universe. It's Australian.
Yeah.
So if you watch Vikings, the guy that plays Ragnar Lothbrok,
Mm-hmm.
he's in it. He's Australian.
Isn't the main guy a Skarsgård?
No, he's Loki is a Skarsgård, the kind of crazy
Yeah.
Viking.
No,
yeah. He's a Skarsgård, yes.
I might be mixing it up. I thought I saw a preview for something, and I was like, "Oh, that's a Skarsgård." But so what's
Loki's in Vikings.
He is.
He's like his buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Skarsgård. Anyways, he's in it. Anyways, about this family and it's what they say. It's kind of like Goonies meets Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
And it's a mini series. Anyways, there's this one scene where the drug dealer comes in and cuts off the kid's finger.
Oh God.
That's what reminded me of it. Go through life.
I always think back to Darkman. You ever see Darkman?
No.
There's this character Durant who's like the bad dude in it, and there's this scene where he's intimidating and messing with this guy, and he's got a cigar cutter. And he puts the guy's finger in it, and he clips his finger off.
What's
He's
the
like,
movie called?
Darkman. Liam Neeson.
Maybe. I know the scene. I know.
Yeah.
Unless it's in another movie the same.
And he's like the first point I want to make is this, and he clips the guy's finger off. The second point I want to make is this, clips another finger off. And he's like, and the third point I want to make is I have 7 more points to make. And he keeps taking the guy's fingers off.
That's crazy.
He was one of those crazy actors. He always played a scumbag, dirtbag. The guy who, I don't know if you ever heard of Dr. Giggles, the horror movie. Yeah.
Oh.
Very campy, over-the-top gore fest. I've never seen it, but whenever people talk about like really campy gore movies, that one kind of comes up. Oh God damn, this elk is good.
So you stole Chris from me because me and Chris were friends first, and then you came along and you stole Chris from me. So now you're doing another fucking series with him, apparently.
Okay, did I tell you the whole story of what happened?
No, we haven't really talked much in the last couple.
Well,
of weeks.
I know you've been sick, so I haven't really been able to. Okay, so here's what happened. He'd been telling me that there was this sketch group in Toronto, right? He messaged me one day. He's like, "Oh, I'm doing some work with this sketch group in Toronto. They asked me to direct some of their segments." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And he said, I didn't want to direct just yet. I told him I'd be their AD and I could help them with some editing." And I was like, "That's also cool." And then he messaged me a couple days later and he's like, "Ah, shit, my car's broken down. This is broken on it. That's broken on it." And he's like, "Fuck, I'm supposed to go and meet these people and work with them like 2 weeks ago or something." And he's like, "Fuck, I don't know what I'm going to do." And I was like, "Well, I'll tell you what." Pumping my brand like I do. I was like, "Do they need any extra actors? Do they need any help?" Because I was like, I can drive you down. And even if they don't, it would be cool to just hang out on set and see how people in Toronto do stuff. And he's like, "Okay, yeah, that'd be cool." So I cleared it up with Nat. I'm like, one Saturday and me and Chris are going to go to Toronto and basically go hang out on a Toronto sketch film set, see what it's about. And then the days were counting down and I kept asking him, "Have you seen any of their stuff?" And he's like, "No, I haven't seen it, but I'm editing some of their stuff and it's not that good." I was like, "Oh, okay."
So he has seen some of his stuff.
Well, he'd seen the sketch they were asking him to edit.
Right.
So I started watching their stuff.
Oh.
And Yeah, I was looking hard for a laugh and I couldn't find one. I mean, there were.
You mean it ain't like this show?
No, it ain't like this show. There's at least 6 solid good laughs in this 2-hour segment. So I was watching it, and then he's thinking about it, and they've made him re-edit this 3-minute scene like 7 times, and he's sinking all this time into it. And it was the Friday before, and I just said to him, I was like, you know what, man?
They made him re-edit it.
They kept sending
7
it back
times.
to him, with notes, and he was sinking all these hours into this sketch. And I'm looking online on their YouTube, and they don't have a video over 200 views. They have like 6 likes. There's 6 people in the company, and they have 6 likes on the video. And I was like, okay. And they're
like
investing.
The Double D podcast.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, but we're not asking people to edit our shit for free and put all these demands on them and have friggin' Google Meet meetings with people about whether or not they're coming on the show.
We've tried.
Nobody we have.
Fucking take us up, though.
Nobody would. So, long story short, I said to him, dude, I know, right? My stories are sorry. I said, dude, I would rather you and I just fucking make something at your place. Like I was going to try and do that stupid time traveling noir detective thing. Crimes Beyond the Dark. I still want to do it. Fucking Chris, we're doing it. So I said, let's just do something. It doesn't matter what. And he kept mentioning Cyber Chase. He wants to bring the Cyber Chase.
Yeah, it's always talked about that.
He does. And I'm like, dude, that's a dead formula. I know it's close to your heart. I know you have a passion for the idea. It's not going to happen. The internet's changed. YouTube's changed. We got to try something else. So we started toying with other ideas, and we landed on doing something on a ship. And I was like, wait, we're doing sci-fi? We're doing spaceship sci-fi? I got so fucking excited. I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, you could play this like captain character. The ship's losing power. And he wanted to bring Emma's character, Theo, who's from Cyber Chase, into it somehow. So we're setting up the green screen. We're down in the basement thinking about how to make a studio down there, and then people can come and just film their shit. And we end up setting up the green screen and looking for stuff to wear, and I got like an army shirt. I'm wearing an army shirt in space. I got the sunglasses on, of course, because I got to have them on. And we just, me, him, and Emily sat there on the computer and wrote a script in 5, maybe 10 minutes, because he had to like keep leaving the room to do shit. And me and Emily were like secretly rewriting it when Chris was out of the room, fixing the stuff that was either too cheesy or too repetitive, and then we filmed it, and it was like we filmed it in like 10 minutes, not even. It just came together last minute, and then Chris sunk so many hours into making it look really good. Yeah. Like I'd seen him do green screen work on when we did the noir detective thing just to do screen tests, and it looked cool, but it didn't look great. But the images in the background of this, they look fucking good.
Yeah, it looks real, yeah.
Yeah, and we didn't get overly complex. I said my lines, and then Emily read the next line. I said the line. Emily read the next line. I said the line. And I recorded mine, then he recorded his, and then back and forth. So it was cut and dry, and it wasn't like we planned it. It just happened last minute. Mm-hmm. So I did not steal Chris from you. I still stole you from Chris. You don't see me bringing him meat sticks.
We were supposed to do a sci-fi together, and now you're doing it with them.
What sci-fi were you guys supposed to do?
I don't know.
Well, what? So, we've both toyed around with the idea of which character you should play. He has an idea for you to play a character, and I have another idea. His idea is that you're like a junker, goes around and steals people's ships and sells them for scrap, and you come across us after like the next thing we film, you would kind of find us there and we'd be blamed for something that happens, and then I kind of take the brunt of it and you scrap our ship. I had an idea where my character gets in shit, I get marooned on a planet that's mostly void of human life, and I come across this guy who's been living as a nomad who kind of takes me in, and after getting to know him for a bit, realized that he used to be like a soldier back in the day. He used to be a captain, and he stole this experimental ship and went into hiding so that the technology on it could never get out.
Right.
And then when I show up and tell you how bad things are up above, we descend down into the ship you've kept secret for like 10 years, rise back up, and become pirates together and like go out and recruit all my old crew members. And you're like the tactical officer, I'm the captain. We bring Chris's character back in and we go out in this like uniquely built spaceship. You know, that old thing. I don't know. I thought that idea was cool. So whether you're the junker or the crazy nomad who's hiding out with this ship that he built a little house on top of, but it's underground, and then
Right, to hide it.
Yeah, see, the thing is, everything I write is like Chris editing and effects for 46 hours trying to make a shot look good. Whereas, yeah, everything I write, I realize after, I'm like, I don't have to do the effects on this. And I almost feel bad that I sometimes can't write smaller.
Well, I saw him reply to, so it's not on, there's no Fruitblock Films YouTube channel anymore, right?
Oh, did he? Yeah, he uploaded
He rebranded it to
his gaming one. But I think
it's Lennox,
yeah,
something like that.
it's Links.
ITZ Links or whatever.
I've been saying for a while, we could start a new channel that is specifically for making short films or making content about making short films or videos about stuff. Like you upload a couple of the scenes from those who remain, and then you upload a tagged video talking about how that scene went or how it was made and the little behind the scenes stuff. I don't know, like a YouTube channel dedicated to what it's like making short films, and then you see the short films on the channel.
Oh, that's a good idea, actually.
I thought so. Because he's done so much work, and he learns about effects, and he's teaching himself stuff. He can make videos about making those things.
Yeah, I like that idea. That's a good idea.
I thought so.
I saw in one of his comments to somebody he was saying, "Yeah, we're going to make it where viewers can come in and pick the way the story goes, and that's kind of like a cyber chaser thing, right?"
Yeah, and I mean, again, if there was like a solid fan base of people who are interested in the plot and we're going to watch all the episodes, and you can get to that. Right now, it's like if two people say, "Oh, the captain should die," he should get shot in the dick by an alien tit monster. It's like, well, no, that's dumb. We're going to do that video, then you guys are going to stop watching, and it's done. If you had at least like 30 or 40 people watching that were always commenting,
keep going. I got to throw a log on the fire.
Throw a log on the fire. I mean, if you have
that, a log home.
If you have that much engagement,
yeah.
I'm just going to do one of these. There we go.
More on you.
No, it feels like it's like I'm leaning into frame, and then there's you, and then there's all this dead space where there's like a ghost, unless you have another guest coming. I feel like if we had 3 people, then we would. Like if Emily was sitting there, and Chris was half comatose over there.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's cool anyway. So what's it called? The Black Face Raiders or something? About Justin Trudeau?
It's
sorry.
So we had a couple ideas for names. We were throwing all these names around.
Yeah, go ahead. I just remembered what it was.
And it was originally Pirates of Darkwater.
Darkwater.
Because he said Darkwater, and I thought, oh, that's cool. He's like, yeah, it's like what some people might think space is. And I was like, that's a fucking cool idea.
Yeah.
Like you think about like a tribe of people that have never been to space and never seen technology, and they look up into the sky and see a bunch of black with dots in it, and they go, oh, that's the Darkwater.
Yeah.
I thought that was a fucking incredible idea.
It is.
And it's still part of the title. And then I said to him, I was like, that would also be a really cool name for the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Darkwater. But Darkwater might just be a term for space. So now the name is not Pirates of Darkwater, it's Dark Star. Pirates of Darkwater, I think. And somebody commented something, they're like, oh, I thought this was like a callback to Dark Star by, was it Wes Craven or some, one of the horror movie greats of back in the day. But I can't remember if the title changed yet again. And my internet is being kind of shitty, but I mean, I don't know. There could be we do more content and then it's uploaded all together, or it keeps coming out in these little chunks. But
It's
Dark Star sounds cool. Blackwater sounds cool.
yeah, the doobie player's playing, and it could be the theme song. Oh, Blackwater, keep on rolling. Pirates of Blackwater. Episode 1 of Dark Star. The Pirates of Blackwater.
And I kept thinking about stars. Now, when a star burns out, like it explodes, expands, and then shrinks, and it takes a certain amount of time.
Oh, God. Oh, excuse me.
Muskokie. Like, does a star eventually just get cold, turn black, and crumble to bits?
When a star burns out, doesn't it create a black hole?
No. No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Like our star, well, for example, our sun, I talked about this once before. It won't go supernova. It won't explode. It'll expand, consume the Earth, and then it'll shrink back down smaller. It'll turn white, and then it'll start to cool down. But I mean, after like another million billion years, like everything has to eventually burn up in it, right? And then would it just turn black and solid and Muskoka?
What makes black holes?
They say a hole in space, like a tear in the fabric of space-time.
Not a wormhole.
Hold on.
That's a wormhole.
What makes a black hole? This is why we need Emily. Black holes are regions in space where an enormous amount of mass is packed into a tiny volume. This creates a gravitational pull so strong that not even light can escape. They are created when giant stars collapse, and perhaps by other methods that are still unknown. So
Possibly.
Possibly. I mean, in theory, I guess, because I mean, so much of this shit they talk about it like it's science, and then
Listen, if there's one thing that's for sure with science, it's always changing.
Truth.
So,
But
there is no settled science. Really.
For the time being, one of the theories you're right on that is that it does have something to do with a star collapsing.
Yeah.
So there you go. But is collapsing different than it would be different than blowing up? Like the star would.
Well, I think collapsing could be like what you're talking about, right? And then it burns out,
Yeah.
and it just crumbles, collapses on itself.
Talking about the deep science here on the Double D podcast.
Deep space science.
Deep space and salted meat. And good beer.
Good meat out of his bag.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when I take my bag out, you're going to get some good meat.
So much for that for kids on YouTube.
Well, episode 21, a.k.a. The Gambler, Blackjack 21, Casino Royale, is not for the kiddies. Maybe next episode we'll do a family-friendly Double D podcast where, we'll like try different sodas.
Because kids like titties too.
Kids are fascinated by titties.
Yes.
They think that they're magical, and they are. They're magical givers of life and sustenance. You know that there are. I don't know if you've ever heard about this. There are bodybuilders who will buy breast milk from women who are like bagging it because the nutrients in it is they'll put it in their like protein shakes and shit.
Yeah.
Because there's stuff in there.
Yeah.
And there were like bags and bags of milk that were in the freezer too long, and because they're only good in the freezer for about 6 months,
okay,
that we were going to have to throw out. And I was like, well, why don't we just sell this online to some fucking bodybuilders? And yeah, the idea was turned down.
Oh, why?
I think
Wouldn't make enough money.
Well, that and like it sounded like it might be bullshit, and it might not be like they want like large amounts. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it didn't happen. But sometimes it feels like a missed opportunity. You know, like could have had a new blender and a new appliance somewhere in the house, and we'd know that you got paid for by some breast milk that came from a bunch of like nutcase fucking bodybuilders.
Right?
You know those creeps that stare at pregnant women? Those guys.
Oh, Jesus.
So,
What else?
I wrote down
Next.
some stuff.
Oh,
Oh,
got some questions, emailed questions.
that's
Somebody
true.
emailed some questions too for the fishbowl,
Yeah, let me pull
which
that
is
up.
down in the basement studio, which is cold.
Hold on, here we go. Where's the actual questions? Here they are. Would you rather buy a coffee at Starbucks or Tim Hortons? This is from our email address, doubledesegments@gmail.com.
Well, I don't buy coffees anymore out there, but Tim Hortons fucking without a doubt Timmy's. You know why? Because I ain't going into a fucking Starbucks. You can't order I just want a coffee place. No, it's got to be a fructose, lactose, fucking
breast milk,
glucose, fucking, and what's your name? Don't fucking worry about my name.
Can I get a frothy human titty milk latte, please, with extra foam?
Like it's like the Starbucks is like a whole fucking
Hippie
way
cult?
of life.
Mm.
Fuck that. Go in, get my fucking coffee, get the fuck out.
There's a clip for you. Jim Hortons agreed.
Speaking of coffees, have you seen Loudermilk?
Okay.
It's fucking brilliant.
I haven't sat and watched the show, but Nat had been watching it
On Netflix, and it's on Netflix now, yeah.
And I heard a lot of what she was watching, and I thought it sounded really funny, and I do want to watch it.
Fucking brilliant.
When I finish Justified, it's the next thing I'm watching.
We saw it a few years back. It was on something else. I don't know where we found it.
Yeah, it got moved to...
and it finally got moved to
Netflix.
Now they're talking about doing a season 4 and 5.
Well, because it got canceled, they brought it to Netflix, and it's been so popular on Netflix.
It's fucking brilliant.
I love the guy from it. The guy from Office Space.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And Will Sasso's in it. He was from Mad TV, big guy. He's his roommate and shit. It's brilliant. It's really off the cuff and it's kind of rude, but it's fucking brilliant.
But it's the right kind of rude.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And the whole opening scene is he goes in. He's going to a coffee shop. Scene? He's going to a coffee shop.
And it's the one where he makes fun of the way the girl talks.
Yeah, he gets to the door, and they both get to the door, so he opens the door for her, and he's kind of first in line, but he's like, well, you go first. And then she's fucking ordering for the whole office. He goes, like, what the fuck? No, why do you got to talk like that for? Nobody talks like that.
No, because I do want to watch it.
What's your name? Asshole. It's fucking funny.
Yeah, it's definitely on my list.
He's he's an ex writer for Rolling Stone magazine, so he used to go with all the bands and party and shit. And he's a recovering alcoholic, and he runs a like AA meetings, not AA, but something to that effect type of thing.
Yeah,
it's pretty fucking funny. It's brilliant.
I'm sold. Now I've got 2 recommendations for it. Get louder with milk.
Loudermilk.
What else we got here? Would you rather watch the original Battlestar Galactica remake or wait and watch the new one?
They're fucking talking about doing another one, a new one again.
Did
you see the original?
I remember watching the original when I was a kid. I wouldn't say I watched it, like a lot of it.
Lauren Green, Commander Adama, good Canadian man.
Apollo, Starbuck, when Starbuck was still a guy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
To be fair, that was one of those. That was like one of the first big gender swaps of a
Starbuck
beloved TV character. Yeah, and Katie Sackhoff was a great Starbuck. Like, I understand a lot of people were pissed off about it, but I like what she did with the character.
Right.
She made her very very conflicted and at times unlikable, but also sexy as hell at the same time. But I love the Battlestar remake. It was one of the first shows that I binged, and then I tried to get my friend Gary to watch it, and he fucking made fun of me so hard. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna watch Battlestar and put on all your regalia and dress up like your favorite character?" And I'm like,
Cylon.
well, you probably thought I was gonna dress
The
up.
Cylons look. I didn't see the remake.
Oh, you didn't?
I no.
So in the remake,
I know about the remake, and
Yeah.
I know all about it and shit.
they talk about how there was a Cylon war, and then the Cylons disappeared. They lost the war, and they disappeared, and no one had heard from them for like decades.
Right.
But everyone talked about the Cylon war, and then they come back, but they look different. Later on, you do see that there are still some of the old that look like the old Cylons.
Yeah.
But in the show, the big focus is that the Cylons have created human-looking Cylons that there's no way to detect that they're Cylons. And that starts this whole idea of, well, then who's a Cylon? Right? Yeah. And the way the show was all through those 4 seasons is that every now and then there'd be a reveal that this person was a Cylon, right? And by the end of it, they talk about, the final 4, who are the last 4 Cylons, and you're waiting to get this big reveal of who they are, and it's like the build-up and the reveals of that made the show really entertaining and fun to watch. Some of the Cylons are awesome. Some of them are kind of shit and forgettable. There were supposed to be 12. But yeah, that first reveal, that first big Cylon reveal is very powerful. But it was a great sci-fi. The battle sequences in it, some of the space battle sequences are fucking amazing. The music, like every time the action ramped up, it would be this like insane drum beat, right? Like it would be boom, 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 and it would build up and shit would be blowing up. Very satisfying.
Yeah, see, I know some people were watching. Oh, did you see this new Battlestar Galactica? I'm watching this. It's great. They didn't know there was an original one.
Really?
Yeah. I thought
that's the sacrilege right there. It's like when people say, "Oh, that remake of The Thing sucked."
These are people that are older than me,
and it's like the remake of The Thing
how could they not
is
know?
a remake of a remake.
Well, yeah.
There's an original Thing, then there's John Carpenter's Thing, and then there's the 2011 Thing.
That's right.
There are many things.
Yes.
And now there'll be many Battlestars if they want to do it yet again. I just really hope they don't go fully woke with it, because again, like.
Yeah, I think they're starting to get away from that now.
Well,
right?
go broke.
Who's making it? Disney?
I hope not.
And it's fucked.
Yeah, well, everything Disney makes is fucked. So okay. To get to the question, would I? Well, I want to watch the new one. If I had to choose, I can only watch one. Well, fuck. I do want to see the new one. I know that the original is classic.
So if you're going upstairs and fucking you turn on the TV for a Sunday afternoon, fucking squirting down some Muskoka Brewery fucking Stein beer, and
Stein.
You turn on the TV and it's like, you can watch this one, or this one.
Well, I'd want to see the new one. I'd like. Yes, I appreciate the other two, but I love the story of Battlestar Galactica. I would love to see what they do with it next, because again, it's a great concept. Man versus machine.
Okay. Next.
Let's see what else our friend sent us. He asked that we don't say his name and his email address. He wants to remain anonymous, which I respect. Without religion, would people become more, less, or be equally morally corrupt?
Without religion,
would people become more, less, or equally morally corrupt?
Corrupt as they are.
Hi, Jackson.
Without religion.
Without religion. So, if you were on a spaceship and an entire generation of people grew up on this spaceship and then went down and lived on a planet, and they'd never been told that God exists, and that those people were allowed to develop over generations, and you had another group of people that were told God existed and all the rules that God has. This one has societal rules, this one has religious rules. And you're to look at those two colonies in 100 years. Would they be which one would be more fucked up and which one would be less fucked up morally?
I think they'd just be fucking fucked up just as much as with or without.
But people need an excuse.
Do you need out?
Do you need to go out, Jackson? You need to go pee-pees?
People need an excuse, yeah, but definitely people will use religion as an excuse.
And if they didn't have religion, they'd use something else.
Exactly.
People want to stand here and look down on something else and punch down on it. It doesn't matter if God says it's okay or if the fucking Baron Schwartz says it's okay. People are looking to, as a group, stand and have someone else around them that they shit on and get to do the crappy jobs.
I've always said that no matter the good intention, the charity, the policy, whatever it may be, whatever good intentions it originally has, there's always people that will find a way to use it and abuse it for their advantage. Period. Doesn't matter if it's religion, politics, fucking charities,
all those
hockey, kids hockey, you fucking name it, kids sports, anything, work, anything.
Everything's an excuse to yell at another person.
People out there that'll do it.
And then that person's not allowed to yell back. Our number one fan, Mr. Jackson. Speaking of Jackson, did you ever see
Jackson Hole?
No, Action Jackson.
5. Action Jackson with
Carl Weathers.
the black guy. Yeah,
he just passed away.
he did.
Fucking
did.
sad.
Fucking Predator got him.
Predator
again.
Predator got him again. I mean, and
no more Mandalorian for him.
No, and it sucks because he was good on Mandalorian. But like the more I like see people reflecting on it, like I see a lot of Predator, I see a lot of Rocky, and a little bit of Mandalorian. But one of the best images I saw, and a couple of people were like showing clips of Rocky 4 when like Stallone's standing over his casket, and it's like, fuck, come on, guys. But there was one, and it was him and Arnold Schwarzenegger arm lock, but his arm had kind of turned into a ghost kind of thing.
Oh,
yeah, it was a cool image. It was like, that is one of the most immortal badass moments in an action movie. Just two guys, boom, like raw power, trying to.
What movie was that in?
Predator.
Oh, that was in Predator.
Yeah, when Arnold comes in, and then
the first one,
Dylan stands up and you son of a bitch, and then they lock arms and just the biceps are flexing. Yeah, great moment. But yeah, he had a huge impact on movies in the 80s, and I don't know. I know that he kind of drifted into some obscurity, I guess, after the 80s, because you didn't see him in a ton of stuff in the 90s, or maybe I just didn't see it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he would have been in.
But
I think he was in a lot of stuff. I need some aqua.
Some aqua for the man.
Excuse me. So what's the next question?
Next question. Wait, did we answer that question? Or we got off topic with Action Jackson? Did you ever see Action Jackson?
I think I did.
That was the Carl Weathers stab at I think they were trying to create a franchise. And who knows? If it had happened at a later time, it might have turned into one. I don't know how we got on that. And then the last question, what do you contribute back to society? Is this guy being a dick?
Fuck all.
I mean, I remember I read over these when I first saw them and was like, oh, yay, somebody. And then this question, what do you contribute back to society? Well, you provide people with laughter and beer.
I don't provide any beer.
You fix beer things.
That's not provide. That's contributing to a disease.
But a fun disease.
That's
just because some people.
That's kind of an immoral fucking. I'll tell you what I've contributed to. I've probably contributed more to help raise more money for charities that I can think of every year. Every year we go down to Markham for a weekend and we raise money for Jumpstart to help uh, kids that can't afford to play sports
Yeah.
get into sports. So we've raised we're just shy of $1 million there.
Holy shit.
Hockey for the homeless. I used to do that when I was more involved in hockey. I don't know how much we've raised in that. We get like ex NHL players and have like a tournament and raise all sorts of money. Everybody's got to come up with money, and all that money goes to homeless people. And when I coached younger kids rep teams, I'd always make them go out and we'd raise up a bunch of money to help families at Christmas times and stuff like that.
Nice.
Make sure they're giving back to the community and that kind of thing. I think that's how I've contributed.
It's a good contribution.
So
I banged a lot of older women when I was in my 20s. Is that contributing?
yeah, probably.
What have I contributed to society? Well, I've worked a number of jobs that in some way contribute to society. I've made sure the mail gets there on time. I've protected and driven millions of dollars worth of gold through our fine countryside.
And you mold young kids' minds.
I mold the minds of children. I provide them with the belief that not all adults are complete shit. And that some of us actually listen to them and treat them like human beings and not like cattle.
That's pretty tough.
Yeah, it is. What else have I contributed to society? I did a lot of charity work in high school. I like to think
You used to run into Terry Fox.
I did. I run the Terry Fox, and actually, my dad started a charity back in the day where people could donate coats and winter clothing, and then redistribute it to schools for kids that families couldn't afford coats and mitts and hats and all that stuff.
Nice.
And yeah, he did that charity for years. And when I was in high school, that's where I got my my hours. And then there were a whole bunch of other kids that wanted to get their hours that way too at this Coats for Kids thing. And my dad, one day, he forgot and he didn't go. And he was like, "Oh, well, it's just not going to be open this day." And he forgot that he had students coming. And they come up to me the next day and they're like, "What the hell happened? My parents dropped us off and they left and we were there and the door wasn't open." And I was like, "Oh shit." And I was like, "Okay, come back again on Thursday and I'll make sure that he's there." And he's like, "Well, I can't go Thursday." And I'm like, "Well, give me the keys and I'll go." And I ended up doing that for the next 2 years.
Wow.
And I would just help all the kids in my high school get their volunteer hours because they could come and, 2 hours Tuesday, 2 hours Thursday. And then one time, oh shit, I can't remember which country it was, but there was a country going through something and they needed like huge amounts of donations. And I had to organize like 800 coats, like tons and tons of just garbage bags and garbage bags filled with stuff to go and get flown out to this country for all these people. And I'm like saying to my dad, I'm like, "This is a lot. Like, I don't know if I could do this on my own." He's like, "You'll be fine. This lady's coming. I work with her all the time. She'll come help you organize. She sews up. She doesn't know what to do." I got like 3 people volunteering and we're just like clearing out the racks. So yeah, I contributed that to society. I
Nice.
kept people warm.
Well, other than that one weekend a year, I don't contribute to society. In fact, I fucking hide away from society now.
Well, that's the purge weekend.
That's just the one weekend, yeah. So
Well, the deer need to be purged.
it's, yeah.
Well, thanks for your questions and bringing in suspicions about whether or not we are pieces of shit and don't contribute to society.
Everything we just said was a fucking lie, too. But
Pretty much.
anyways,
I just burned all the coats and laughed at people. So I wrote down a couple of things that I thought would be fun to discuss with you.
uh-oh.
Before we do that, though,
What's in the fridge?
what's in the fridge? Oh, so the first question is the definition question: whore versus slut.
Whore versus slut.
Yeah, like the definition. I'm sure we could Google it, but to your understanding, what's the difference between calling a person a whore and calling them a slut?
Well, I think a whore gets paid and a slut just does it for fun.
Does it for attention, essentially.
No, whatever.
There we go. There's the Collingwood downhill. Collingwood downhill.
Downfall.
Downfall. Well, it'll be our downfall.
American Pale Ale. Collingwood's original pale ale. Well hopped with Amarillo and Cascade. Perfectly balanced with a firm malt backbone. Relax. It's all downhill from here. Oh, shit.
They said it.
Yeah, this beer's got sugar in it? Fuck.
Sugary beer?
That's what it says. It says sugar. Maybe it was sugar.
Maybe it's to offset the nastiness. Well, we paired our Muskoka with some elk. We're going to pair our Collingwood with some boar. Oh, Muskoka. Is it bad? Is it hoppy? Is it sweet?
I better finish this first.
That's probably a good idea. So yeah, whores are girls on OnlyFans. Sluts are girls on Instagram. Makes sense? Although there's some
fucking
sluts on Instagram who are just promoting their OnlyFans page because they're whores. But if you're a slut on Instagram who doesn't have an OnlyFans page, then you're just a slut. Oh, let's give this one the treatment. Stand tall atop the Summersby. You are now sponsored. Very nice.
Yeah.
Would you like some boar, sir?
Or, sure. Give her a shot.
Have a boar stick.
Oh, thank you.
2 in 1.
I definitely smell the difference.
Oh, yeah.
It's even the texture of it's different. This is like ribbed.
Yeah. It isn't. It's definitely not as smooth as the elk.
Should have a little more fat in it, I bet you.
Maybe.
Well, it definitely does.
It's good though. Although to be completely honest, maybe you could do this. I don't know about good. If somebody chopped up 5 pepperettes or these things, meat sticks, and said, "Okay, eat the 5 and then tell us what animal it is." I feel like you could do it, or at least you'd get 3 out of 5. I don't think I would. I don't have the palate for it. It smells good.
Probably because, elk is very, very lean.
Yeah.
And that pepperette, the elk pepperette, doesn't have a lot of fat in it. So it's very lean and kind of dryish tasting.
Mm-hmm.
Where the boar has, fat in it. And it's like it's a little more greasier. It's a little better.
It does feel a little greasier.
But that's just from the boar fat and stuff, right?
Mm.
So you can tell a difference in it. And I don't know if I'd be able to go, oh, that's boar, that's elk, but I'd be able to tell the difference between them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And that would help narrow it down. If someone said, "Okay, you're going to eat boar, elk,
venison,
beef, venison," and
you can definitely tell the difference between beef and elk.
Yeah,
and boar, pork.
Let's try this. Let's try some Collingwood.
Oh no,
it's not bad. It's got a sharp start, but not a bad start. Comes in, but it doesn't linger poorly. That's not bad. That's 2 for 2. Those are both decent beers. I don't know if this one's better than the first one, but this definitely isn't bad.
All downhill from here.
A little strong.
Okay, next one.
All right. It's another definition. Tattletale versus a narc.
Wow, that's simple. A narc is a fucking is an undercover cop. A tattletale is just fucking your little fucking brother going to tell on you to the principal or fucking your parents or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, Chris is messaging me. Yeah, it's a huge pain.
What?
So I was talking to him about potentially like how much of a problem it would be to like bring the green screen stuff to another location. So like potentially film here if that was an option. And I said, just checking, considering how much of a pain in the ass it would be to film at Doug's or something. And he said, yeah, it's a huge pain in the dick and partially why I hate green screen so much. But yeah, like I don't know. I guess I mix up narc and snitch.
Oh, well.
Because when I think about, okay, so a snitch is a person who's been arrested and then rats out other people to get a reduced sentence.
Yes.
A narc is a cop pretending to be a criminal.
Yeah.
Okay. And a tattletale is just a little shithead kid who wants to get other people in trouble. Wants to watch people get in trouble. Oh, Collingwood, downhill. Downhill. Do tattletales grow up to be narcs or snitches?
Well, I think tattletales usually grow up. Well, I think they can grow up to be both.
No.
I think most of them though are so, can't really do anything on their own or whatever. So they end up, getting in the criminal world and then getting caught because they're, because of their character and they're stupid and they become snitches and then they end up with stitches.
There's two of those things I've heard that are both good. Snitches get stitches and stitches end up in ditches. But snitches get stitches just flows beautifully.
So yeah, I think I think they become. I don't think they become narcs. I don't think they have the character or the fortitude to apply themselves because they're just troublemakers.
Yeah. So this is different. This is completely different. This is just something I thought was really fun, and I wanted to share some of these with you and see if you have any of your own. Great insults and cuss words from other countries. These are some of my favorites. Fuckwit.
A fuckwit, yeah.
Which is
what
just a way
country is
of,
that from?
I think that's an Australian term.
Fuckwit, yeah, maybe.
Calling someone a fuckwit, basically you have no wit, you're stupid, you're a fuckwit. There's a scene in Mr. In Between where he calls this guy who's like a dangerous.
We tried to
criminal.
watch that.
You
we got about they're very short episodes,
They are.
right? We probably got through 4 or 5 of them and just
it wasn't your thing.
just passed.
Ah, well, it happens. But yeah, there was a scene where he calls a guy a fuckwit, like in a really tense situation. You just see it hits the guy in this way where it's like, I wasn't gonna kill you, but now I'm gonna kill you. But yeah, fuckwit I like. Tosser. Yeah, fucking tosser. I like that. Nancy.
Yeah, Nancy.
Yeah, fucking Nancy.
I've heard that, yeah.
Basically saying you're a pussy. Shitheel.
A shitheel.
Although now shitheel, I don't know if that's exclusive to a country. That might be more of a out of time. That's something they used to call people. And then wanker.
Tallywhacker.
Tallywhack and wanker.
Wanker.
Yeah, fiddlin' bends. But yeah, are there any that come to your mind? Like, you catch yourself saying it when you're mad and you're like, where the fuck did that come from?
The tabernacle.
Tabernacle. Doesn't that just mean God damn it in French?
I'm not sure.
It's like a blasphemous.
It's blasphemy, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Other languages?
Not even languages, but just like cultures. Or something you heard in a show and you're like,
You ever had an Irish friend, like a real Irish friend? They say cunt a lot.
They do?
Like it's no problem. And everybody else around them is like,
It's
what?
It's their thing. It's like
we just say that.
They don't say asshole, they say cunt. Hey, you're a fucking cunt. And it's not so villainized there.
What are you talking about?
But that's the Irish. The Irish
fucking cunt.
fucking love the Irish, and I love the Scottish. And let me tell you why I love the Irish, okay? In a world where everybody is becoming so fucking weak and bitching and griping and moaning about every fucking thing to do with their culture and appropriation, St. Paddy's Day is the most fun fucking day for everybody.
Everybody's fucking Irish.
Everybody's fucking Irish on St. Paddy's
Except
Day.
for the Scottish. They're still Scottish.
The Scottish are still Scottish. And I'm pretty sure the Welsh, not the Welsh, the Welsh. No. What is it? No, the Welsh. Yeah, they're probably still Welsh. But when you look at the idea of St. Paddy's Day and how it's celebrated, and the use of the green and the gold and the leprechauns and all the shit that people do, you would think that the average Irish person would just want to beat the living fuck out of everybody for insulting their culture and thinking that the most Irish thing about Ireland is a fucking leprechaun.
And they're all drunks.
And they're all drunks. But do you see any Irish people getting mad? No, because they're all drunk. They don't give a fuck. And even after the fact, when they've sobered up 3 weeks later, they're not fucking angry. They're just happy that everyone's having a good time. Even though,
blimey,
I'm sure there's a lot of Irish people that feel like, well, this is kind of a fucking insult to my culture, that the focus on it is from a fucking creature from fucking legend that goes around with a fucking pot of gold at the end of the fucking rainbow. And people don't even know the actual fucking history of the Irish leprechaun. Now, this is why I love the fucking Irish people. Because they just have a good fucking time with it. They don't get all twisted in their fucking panties and act like a fucking wankel and fiddle in bed. No. They eat their fucking meat stick, drink their beer, and they shut the fuck up. Maybe get in a fight. But that's about it. Did I ever tell you I'm part Irish?
Yeah, okay. Heinz 57, you are.
The ketchup?
Yeah. You have 57 different fucking things in you.
No, I have 4. One of them is just...
Have you done one of those fucking Simply Me fucking DNA fucking 99 Me?
I'm sure I'd find out some interesting stuff. I know this. My mother was Italian. My father was Scottish and Irish and like a sliver of Native American, like an eighth, I think. My grandmother was Scottish and Irish, and my grandfather was Irish. So it's more Irish than Scottish. And I always thought it was equal parts Irish and Scottish.
Yeah.
It wasn't until much later I was talking to my mom and I found out that my grandmother was, or my grandfather, one of them was part Scottish, part Irish. So there's more Irish than Scottish in me, even though I look a lot more Scottish than Irish. But yeah, no, there aren't. I'm not a Heinz 57. I'm like a Heinz maybe 5.5. Downhill. And with that, let's see what else we got.
The next.
Stuff you get excited about that makes you look or sound old.
I don't know.
Nothing comes to mind?
I'm sure something really good should come to mind
No,
soon.
let me tell you. I wrote it down because I clearly have one. Every now and then I got to replace the parts to my CPAP machine.
Right?
By the time I got to replace them, it's all fucked up. It's not sitting on my head properly. The Velcro's wearing out. The hose smells weird. The tank's all gumming up with lime, fucking
The white shit.
the white shit. And I got my new parts. Took everything out, threw the old shit out, plugged all the new stuff in. Oh, I slept like a baby. I mean, you wouldn't think it would make that much of a difference, but it was just nice. Didn't have to worry about the fucking Velcro coming undone and the air escaping out the side. And I was
So
just
which
like,
one do you wear? The nose one or the nostril one or the face mask?
I wear the
one?
nose one.
The nose one.
Yeah, it's
That's
kind
what
of
I used to wear.
yeah, it's kind of a. Sometimes I wonder if I want to switch to a different one, but
I'm so comfortable with it.
no, it's good. It gets the job done. My thing is, it feels like every night when I go to sleep, I got one half of my sinuses that's just completely shut. So it's like I'm breathing. All the air I'm getting to live is going through one nostril. It feels like it's not enough to be alive, and I get scared when I go to sleep sometimes. It's like I can barely fucking breathe.
So how long have you been on it?
The CPAP?
Yeah.
I want to say 4.5 years, maybe. I know that when I started, I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it. I would wait till Nat fell asleep and take it off. And then it took me a while to get comfortable with it. I just fucking hated having something on my head.
But then once you had, and then you realized it was the fucking best sleep of your life.
Oh my God. And it's not even that I wake up now and I feel refreshed and I feel great. It's if I don't wear it, I wake up feeling like an angry, scaly ghost fucked my throat all night. Like that's how it feels. Like, and that's how I realize now that's how I used to feel. I'd wake up in the morning and my throat would feel all swollen and like it would hurt and I'd be like, have gross shit all in my mouth because I'd be sleeping like this all fucking night. I heard a comedian once compare it to like, how can a woman find a man attractive when it looks like a ghost is fucking his throat all night? That's what it looks like. Choking
Jesus.
on a big ghost dick all night. So once I got used to it and I started having those nights where I'd wear it the whole night, I'd wake up feeling good.
Right.
And if I ever forgot to put it on, I wake up feeling like shit. There was a time I forgot to bring it to the fucking cottage and we were up there for 3 nights. And it's like, well, shit, it's 3 hours away. I'm not driving all the way back to get it. I had to sleep sitting up because the first night I tried to sleep normally and I woke up and I felt like I had strep throat. It was so bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably had one for about the same amount of time, 4 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't need it anymore since I lost all my weight.
Maybe if I lost the weight, I wouldn't need it. I don't know.
But I mean, I remember when I was getting it, I used to snore and keep days up. Just all right, just take this. Went and took the test and was like, well, you're kind of like borderline. You're just, because you stop breathing so many times a night. And so I wasn't quite like deathly needing it, but right. And they're like, well, you could lose some weight. I'm like, well, whatever.
I feel like that's the solution every doctor gives me to all my problems.
Yeah, but it took me a while. Like same thing, it took me a while to get used to it. I wore just that one that goes over your nose, and then some of the. But I hated wearing it at times.
Well, they didn't tell me you might need it, you might not. I went and did the sleep test. And I had all the electrodes, and they recorded me. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the sleep thing at the hospital with all the fucking.
When I met with the guy, he basically just looked at me and said, "You're going to die, senor." Like he's like, you have severe sleep apnea. You need a CPAP machine. And I was like, "Fuck!" I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was that bad. But I would never go back to not having it, even if I lost a bunch of weight and things were better. I still feel like I would probably still want to wear it. I mean, just in case. I mean, I'd try a couple nights without it, and we'll see. But yeah, I don't know.
I was like 280, and now I'm like 215.
Yeah,
but yeah. My son's friend, he's a big kid, and when he used to sleep, he'd snore real bad, like they were partying or whatever, and he'd fall asleep, whatever. They couldn't wake him up. He wouldn't wake up, right?
Jesus.
Now he's on CPAP machine. Now he gets the best sleep of his life. But if you just go like this, he'll be like, "Whoa." That's so weird. But he has the best sleep of his life now. He's like, oh, is this what it's like?
No, he's probably sleeping so deep because he's close to death when he's not breathing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing that gets me excited that may make me sound old.
New pieces of CPAP.
My new CPAP stuff. I got the same motor.
New filters in.
Oh yeah, you got to change your filters once in a while. I try to change the filters at least twice before I change the other stuff. I should probably change it more often. But yeah, now that you have mine, can you think of something yourself? Something you get excited about, and people just look at you and be like, "God damn, you're old." A new pair of New Balance shoes.
Sometimes I get excited just to be able to go to bed at night.
Mm.
Come 9 o'clock, I'm like, Dr. Sleep.
He likes to sleep. Excited to go to bed. That counts. All right. This one's fun.
To sleep.
We did this in class. So you're going to spend 10 years on a spaceship.
No. Oh.
You have two
On the
choices.
Blackwater.
Yeah, on the Blackwater. It's going to be you can have it be noisy all the time or quiet all the time.
Like quiet, like in absolutely no noise whatsoever.
So there's a constant or just absolutely nothing.
But I can talk to people and play music and stuff. It's a constant drone of the machine. Hello.
Hey.
Constant drone of the machine.
So now the way, and this is the thing, you can change it up however you like, but the way they were saying it in the class is it's complete silence or constant noise. So I mean, you could say it's like, oh yeah, you could still talk to people, but nothing around you would be making any noise. It would be like that deafening silence. And then people would think like, oh well, you could play music, you could play the freaking drums on the hull or something. But it's just that idea,
Complete silence.
and that's what I said.
Because I've had enough of that droning noise in my ears for too long.
Oh yeah,
Complete silence is the best.
and I mean I'm around kids and people all
Where
the
you going?
time. Going for a dart.
Darth Vader.
Gonna go have a dart.
Darth Vader.
Max is back in.
Who?
I'll tell you later.
Max? Who's Max? What?
You better cut this.
Brittany doesn't listen to this.
What if she does?
Who's Brittany? Is she hot?
So what? Huh?
I said, who's Brittany? Is she hot?
Our oldest kid.
There you go. I earned it.
Actually, she's probably about. Wait, how old are you? How old are you?
Oh, how old am I? I'm 42. I'm going to be 42 on Saturday.
Well, she's 7.
37. She'll be 37.
Wait, I met her once.
Yeah, I think so. She was here once. Yeah,
We were doing the Percy scene. By the
yeah,
log.
that's right.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right.
She was here. She was hanging out on the dock.
Yeah.
She seemed nice. Wait. Is Max the boyfriend?
Huh?
Is Max the boyfriend?
Well, kind of, maybe. She's kind of seeing this dude.
Oh. Sorry to get into the personal stuff there if you are listening. But you're not. Come on, who listens to their fucking dad's podcast? Hey, guys, want to listen to my dad's podcast? Who's he on there with? Some fucking loser he met on a film set who talks way too much and wears fucking sunglasses
He's only
inside.
5 years older than me.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically. I'm actually Doug's first kid that he didn't want. And I had to like worm my way into his life. Tell you, who listens to their dad's podcast? I do. You know, if my dad were alive, he wouldn't listen to my podcast.
No, neither would mine.
My mom listened to you and me having the justified argument.
Oh, which one?
The
Which
one,
time?
the one where Emily was getting bored, and like she's
Because it
like,
only means anything to us.
you know, I was sitting there listening to it, and that's like, God, how long does this go on? And my mom's there, like, do people listen to this? I was like, fuck, thanks, Mom. Yeah, me and Doug did.
Yeah, 8 people did.
Emily and a few other people. Although, no,
It only means anything to us.
hey, this is therapy, right?
That's what this is about, us.
It's therapy.
It's not about you, it's about us.
That's right. It's about the D's and the meat and the
If
beer.
it was about you, you would fucking interact with some of the social medias, you fuckers. But
Fuckers.
it's not, so now it's just about us.
All right, so now there's an expansion on the noisy or quiet. So you can have on the spaceship for 10 years constant light or constant dark.
constant light.
That is also what I said.
Because I can always fucking put shit over my head.
Yeah, you could put shit over your eyes,
Like
and you'd be able to see what you're doing. People are like, "Oh, well, the constant light, how would you sleep?" You'll find a way to fucking sleep.
But you put a fucking blindfold on.
Yeah, you put something over your face.
On a plane.
If it's constant dark, I mean, do you want to be using a fucking flashlight for everything everywhere when you're trying to work? You have to hold a fucking flashlight or a fucking lamp.
Well, you couldn't see anywhere.
It makes shadows everywhere. Do you know how fucking scary shadows are? Terrifying. You're just walking around in the woods and you're shining a flashlight. The shadows are dancing around, dude. And then that one shadow doesn't move. You're like, what the fuck was that?
When I'm sitting in the woods waiting for the sun to fucking come up and there's shadows around, you don't know what the fucking shadows are, and they're fucking. It seems like they're moving because the light source is kind of moving. Mm-hmm. It's like fucking weird.
Yeah. So I'm going for a quiet, bright ship.
Yeah.
There was a third thing, but I couldn't remember what it was. And for the life of me, I kept trying to think about it. So I just added in something because when I was talking to Nat about this spaceship thing, I added a third part. So you're on your quiet, always light ship. You can either have one person for company who you don't have anything in common with, or 10 people, but you don't get along with some of them.
One person I don't have anything in common with?
Yeah. Another person
10 people and I don't like some of them.
Yeah. You don't get along with some of those 10 people.
How big's the ship?
Ooh. I would say...
Is it big enough where I can fucking just ignore them and go on my own business?
Let's say it's about the size of the space station. So it's on a tubes. There's like a common area for eating.
So I ain't going to avoid fucking people.
Well, you can't avoid them all day. It's you have to work with some of these people.
And let them out the air duct?
Dude, this isn't, what's it called? Among Us. We're not playing Among Us. Sadly, you cannot kill the crewmates on the ship. I mean, no, you can't kill them. You're stuck with them for 10 years. So do you want one person, and it turns into Beyond the Sea?
I can do 10 people and not liking some of them because I could ignore them. Like, people don't really bother me that much. I just pretend they're not there.
Would want to have like more than just one person around.
Yeah. Especially if there are more women.
Well, you don't know. Maybe it's the women you don't get along with. All you get along with are a bunch of fucking guys who want to share their meat stick with you.
God.
Yeah, you already got enough of those around.
For how long? 10 years?
10 years. It's a 10-year mission.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a few people.
Yeah.
I might eventually like them. Who knows?
This one's just for fun. Would you rather go to camp with Jason Voorhees, take a nap with Freddy Krueger, or play a game with Jigsaw?
Oh, God. Definitely not Jigsaw. Those are horrific.
Hello, Dr. Sleep. I want to play a game. Oh, yeah, everyone wants to go swimming with Jason Momoa.
Good night.
I didn't know that was an option. I'm doing that. I'm swimming with Jason Momoa for sure.
That's the wife option. I'd go swimming with Jason Momoa just to hang out.
Done. That's the deal.
Like, hey, did you bang any of the other actresses on Stargate Atlantis? Or Baywatch? He started out on Baywatch, huh?
That fucking commercial he has where he comes home from work and he takes off all his fucking body parts and turns into this skinny little fucking bald-headed guy.
That's funny.
Brilliant.
You ever seen the pictures? You know how sometimes I add facial hair or take facial hair away? There was one somebody did of what he would look like with no beard, and he had just this really weak chin and looked like a little kid. It was terrible. But he's shaved his stuff off. You can see pictures of him with no beard at all from when he was younger, when he was on Baywatch. He had nothing on his face. But when I first saw him in Stargate Atlantis, he had a full beard and dreads. And he was a great character. Ronan Dex was a fucking awesome character. That's what made me love Jason Momoa. What?
I don't remember him
in Stargate Atlantis? It was Ronan Dex. He was
that TV show?
Yeah. Not SG-1, Atlantis.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
No, I never watched SG1. I watched maybe the first 3 or 4 seasons, because I liked Atlantis so much. I thought, okay, I'll go back and watch the original now. But no, I really liked Atlantis. That was great characters. It got a little stupid towards the end, and it's like it got canceled, so they ended it super fast in the last 3 episodes.
Yeah. Trying to tie it all up.
Yeah, they tied it up and got everyone home, and it was all good. But yeah, he played like a cowboy in space essentially. He was like a hunter rogue. You know, he'd been like living by himself for years, being hunted constantly by these fucking aliens because there was something special about him. So they kept him alive and used him like as training. They would just hunt him all the time, and it made him go kind of nuts. And then the crew finds him, and he joins and becomes a member of the team. But he's like always that wild card, just fucking shoots first all the time. Yeah.
So speaking of sequels and trilogies and shit.
What do you got for me?
So, the 28 days.
Oh,
It's 28 days later.
28 Days Later is the first one.
28 weeks later.
Yeah,
right?
that was the awesome
That was the
fucking
second
follow-up.
one, right?
Yeah, fantastic movie.
Not to be confused with 28 Days of Night.
No, that's not 28.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Oh, what is that? What's the name of that?
28 Days of Night.
That's not what it's called. I know what you're talking about. It's the one with Josh Hartnett. It's like 36 or something.
Vampires come out, right?
Yeah. It's not 28, though. It's like 36. I feel like it's not 28. Why the fuck can't I go left?
28 Days of Night.
30 Days of Night. Look closer.
28 Days of Night. 30 Days of Night.
There's
You're right. So, anyways, not to be confused with the 28 Days of Night, which is actually 30 Days of Night.
28 Days of Night is the prequel to 30 Days of Night. It's a prequel to 29 Days of Light.
So what's the third
29
movie?
Days of-
So what's the third movie in that one?
28 years later.
That's the one.
Or 28 months later.
No, there's not a 28 months later. There's only 2 movies.
Yeah, there's 28 days later, 28 weeks later, and they've been talking about doing either 28 months or 28
years later is the new one they want to do, right?
Yeah, so they can't have any of the characters come back because they'd all be...
But
it hasn't been 28 years, has it? Since weeks?
2006, I think it came out.
Oh, shit. So if they do it in 2030, then it would be 2006.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't have to be like it's a movie fucking thing. It can be any fucking year they want to fucking put it out.
That's true.
But they're talking about bringing Cillian
Murphy?
Cillian Murphy, yeah.
It's a shame they can't bring back Jeremy Renner because they killed him.
See, at the end of 28 days later, right? He gets shot, right?
Yeah, he gets shot, but he doesn't die.
But in the original, that was the alternate ending. They switched the ending.
Yeah, in the original, doesn't he die?
In the original, he dies,
And then the island gets bombed or something?
yeah, but they changed it. Are we live?
Yeah.
But they changed it, right?
Yeah.
Just so that they could have it out there if they wanted to ever do another one.
But then he wasn't even in the sequel.
But he wasn't in the sequel, but he's going to be. That's why they're talking about bringing him back for the 28 years later.
Well, that would be cool because, I mean, that's probably the first movie I saw him in.
And they can bring him back because they left him alive at the end. Right, the 3 of them, him and the 2 girls, were waving at the helicopter.
Yeah, that's the version the version of it that I saw.
Yeah, that's the theatrical theatrical.
That's
version.
the theatrical cut. Yeah,
But there's actually like 3 or 4 different endings, and they filmed the theatrical. They released the theatrical.
Yeah, because I have it on DVD, and I know that there was one. There's the original ending where he lives, the ending where he dies. And it's just the 2 girls at the house, and then one where like a fucking bomber comes, and you don't see them get bombed, but you know that that's what's happening.
Yeah, there was a couple of they had written a couple of different endings, and then they decided to go with the one where.
Well, I like that ending. I mean, sometimes I like the grim ending, but they'd been through so fucking much. I think they deserved a break.
That was the first movie too that fucking changed zombies. Because zombies were fucking fast. They weren't the fucking.
They also weren't zombies though.
Well, they were zombies.
But
Well,
they weren't undead.
Yeah, they were
infected.
They had some kind of a rage thing.
Yeah, they had a basically a crazy version of rabies.
But it is classified as a zombie movie. It's in the zombie genre, right?
I'd put it in the zombie genre, but I
actually Cillian Moore, he said he didn't even know he was auditioning for
a zombie movie.
It's funny because at that time SARS was happening, and there was some air rage thing going on, and blah blah blah, and yeah.
It's interesting.
Even like the movie The Crazies.
I fucking love The Crazies. They
weren't really zombies either, but
no, that was an infection that made people hyper violent. Yeah. They weren't eating each other though; they just wanted to kill.
That was
kill
really
people.
fucking weird. Yeah,
it was good though. I was talking to Nat about this because there's a scene, like his first scene in Justified is him blowing a guy away.
Yeah, yeah.
One of his first scenes in that is the baseball diamond.
Right? Yeah.
And then if you watch Deadwood, one of his early scenes is there's all these people coming into Deadwood, and one of the guys comes in who's like known as the fastest gunslinger in the West. And some guy's starting some shit, and like Raylan's there, and the other guy's there, and they both draw and shoot this guy in the face. And everyone marveled at how he drew just as fast as this other guy. And the other guy, again, was getting old. But, like at the same time, and then just like equal shots to the face on the guy.
Well, even in Boba Fett.
Yeah. Doesn't he start out by shooting the guy?
Yeah, that's right.
It's like that's his calling card. It's like you see him,
he was the Western style sheriff guy in Tatooine or wherever the fuck it was.
Oh, he does it well. He's got that dry. If I gotta kill you, I'll kill you. But yeah, I like zombie movies that don't feel too zombie-ish, like too standard. And The Crazies and 28 Days, they kind of break out of that a little bit, which was nice. Also, there's another one. It's a foreign one. I can't remember what it's called now, but it's a war movie. It takes place during the war, and it's about experimentation on soldiers and them creating like a zombie outbreak kind of thing. And then all the soldiers have to like put it down before it gets out, type thing. It has a cool name too. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, how do we get on that again? Oh, we're talking about 28 years later. Yeah, so I'd be definitely down. And he has come so far as an actor, and in his career since then. Who would you like to see direct that?
Oh fuck, I don't know.
I don't know either. I was going to say Christopher Nolan, just because I know him and Nolan get along well.
I don't know.
But I don't think Nolan's ever done a zombie movie, and I don't know if he ever would. Well, that's unfortunate, but
But
there's nobody in there.
TikTok. Talk tick.
Talk tick. Talk dick.
We have moved on to our Patreon.
Yeah, but if there's not much going on there, then
it's downhill.
Downhill. Yeah, the only other thing I had was just a stupid riddle that, well, not even a riddle. It's more like a math thing. But I don't know if you're in the mood for that. 2 drinks in with all this meat stick in us. Did you have anything you set aside?
No, I kind of wanted to talk about 28 years later.
Would you like another of the meat sticks?
No, I'm good, thanks.
All right.
Jim returns. That's his name. 28 years later,
Jim.
That was good. He comes out, and that was a good movie.
Yeah, he was a bike messenger.
Cillian Murphy is open to reprising his role as Jim.
Elder Jim.
It will also feature original director Danny Boyle.
Oh, nice. Danny Boyle's done some good shit since then. I can't name any of it, but I know it's good because I recognize that name, and I know I've heard it attached to a bunch of things. Does it say there are other movies Danny Boyle's done?
I didn't look it up.
Wow. Shit.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Gladiator 2
Now,
with Pedro Pascal.
Pedro. Who the hell would... Yeah. And then the question comes, is it a... I know it's not going to be Russell Crowe's story continued, although Ridley Scott had said, he's like, well, why not? It's like, it's
You just remind me. Go.
no, but like it's in Rome. We're dealing with Roman mythology. Who's to say that Maximus wasn't plucked out of the river Styx by Hera or whoever the fuck does the river Styx plucking?
So Russell
Russell
Crowe was in it. I just watched about a minor league baseball team that Bing Russell owned. Kurt Russell's dad.
Oh, okay.
And anyways, just before you got over, that's why I had Kurt Russell in my mind.
I love Kurt Russell.
What were we talking about?
Russell Crowe, Gladiator 2.
Oh, Russell Crowe in an interview, and he's sitting there, and the guy asks him about Gladiator 2, and he goes, Jesus Christ, he goes, it's been so many years since I've done Gladiator. I fucking died in it. I know nothing about the new movie. Stop asking me.
Although, to be fair, he gets carried out of the stadium.
He said he died in it.
Yeah, he died, but I mean, and then you see him walking in the field. Who's to say that there isn't the eyes open and then it flashes forward and he becomes a advisor to Lucius, who becomes an emperor of Rome. Although, they got to go historically because they are dealing with historical events. Somewhat. Like, Commodus was actually a piece of shit. But I don't know. I kind of hope that it's going to be...
He's too big and fat now anyways. He's big.
You know what, though? There's a lot of big actors that if they really are passionate about a role, they'll get in shape for it.
No
because he had to get in shape for Gladiator.
Oh, yeah.
So if he really wanted to, like he really wanted to.
Yeah.
Fucking Ridley Scott comes to your door and says, hey, we're doing Gladiator 2. Go to the fucking gym. I would like to think he would do it. I mean, he put on a fat suit for Unhinged. Why not go to the gym for Gladiator 2? But the thing is, he's fucking dead. It's not like it's a multiverse. It's not like when they brought Michael Shannon back to play Zod again for the fucking Flash movie. Not the same, unless they want to do a Roman multiverse.
DC Marvel shit. Jim Carrey's returning for Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Oh, makes sense. Although they did allude to him dying at the end of the second one, but no one ever really dies. And the thing is, I liked Jim Carrey in the first one. I felt he did a manic, unhinged performance that was just the right amount. And the second one, I feel like he was a little more. It was still funny. It was still funny, but I feel like maybe it was because he just had more screen time, but it felt a little more manic. Like maybe he as a person has come off the rails a little bit, and it showed. But I love the Sonic movies. Those are movies I can watch with Max, and I enjoy them as much as he's enjoying them.
I've never watched them.
Yeah, you might get a kick out of it.
You know how they wanted to take the Queen off all the money and put on King Charles?
They do?
Yeah, because he's the king now. So you take her off and you put... Because before her, they had King George on all the money, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's got cancer.
Well,
so should we hold off on putting him on the fucking money because it might be his kid up next?
If it was somebody in their 30s, sure.
What's the kid's name?
I don't know. Henry?
Prince Henry?
Is it Henry?
Not the redheaded one.
The bald one? The one that married the actress?
No, Kate wasn't Kate. She's not an actress. No, the redheaded one married the actress. Huh? Prince William.
I feel so bad she can hear everything we're saying. Poor woman just wants to sleep, and she's got these loud, fucking obnoxious men underneath her.
So should we just wait until he put his face on all the money?
Personally, I would. Okay, the amount of fucking cost to do that, and then have to do it again.
No, but yeah, exactly.
That's
right?
my
But
yeah.
when you reprint, like money goes out of circulation, they just reprint more money or whatever, right?
True,
That's when they would
true.
change it. They wouldn't pull everything in and change it and send it all back out type of thing. You know what I mean?
It's one of those things. If they do it, fine. If they don't, I don't give a fuck. If it costs me money or becomes it, and you know the thing it would do is that would be one run of Charles's money, and Charles's money would become like a collector's item
Mm-hmm.
because it would be rare.
Yeah.
So down the
It wouldn't
road,
have been around that long.
if they do it, I'll be putting all that Charles money aside. Not all of it, maybe, but a lot of it. And then 20 years from now, it'll be out of circulation, and who knows, might be worth something, or it'll be worth nothing. Who knows?
Interesting.
Yeah, right.
So the last podcast, if you can fucking remember that far fucking back,
Was it 3 weeks
I
ago?
had said something about jelly roll.
Jelly roll.
Yeah, remember I said I didn't think much of him or whatever.
Oh, the guy, the rapper with the tattoos on his face.
Yeah, he's not a rapper though. Apparently he's like country guy. Anyways,
Yeah.
I heard him singing in some song, like a duet or whatever.
Yeah,
I might have to walk back my steps. He's not that bad. He's actually pretty good.
like as a rapper, he's
He's a
pretty
singer.
good.
He's not a rapper.
Country singer.
Yeah. Yeah. So I walked back. I walked down back a little bit. Remember we were talking about Miley Cyrus. She kind of surprises us, right? Because they're
Right.
powerful, and you had a thing for Billie Eilish.
I did say some
Right.
stuff about Billie Eilish,
You
and then I
said a lot of
downloaded a
stuff.
bunch of pictures of her and made her smile in all of them
Yeah.
because I'm a dick. Figured out
Uh,
why that live didn't work out so well. It's because I'm not connected to the Wi-Fi for
What?
some
Oh.
reason.
because it's
Is it different now?
well, because I had to
Do you know it?
I had to get a new router.
Do you know what it is though, or do you have to? Oh, you know it. Okay.
I know what it is. Just how do you keep it? It just automatically saves.
It should, yeah.
Yeah, I had to get a new router, right? Because the other one burnt out. Actually, the other one's sitting over there somewhere.
Did you? It just burnt out? Oh,
It
the
just-
router or the Starlink thing?
The router itself.
The
just
router
It
itself.
had no power.
Well, that's why our fucking live died, because it was on my shitty internet. It was probably all sketched out.
And the internet's been so much better since. So
Resume live? No, don't resume live. Start a fresh one. Talking about stuff. That's a gripping title.
so yeah.
You want an MGD?
Surely.
You're done. All right. I added a bottle opener to my keys for that exact reason. No, officer.
Even though I gave you a bottle, it's still downstairs.
Oh, my barking squirrel one. Yeah. Still gotta get some more barking squirrel. Barking squirrel.
Your dog gets recurring ear infections.
No, it doesn't.
What else? We need barking squirrel. We need land shark. We need the what's his face? Chris Hatfield.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I always talk about him, but then we never actually get him.
Look at the ones.
Here's the beer. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks, Miller. Ah, it's just nice.
That's beer.
It's just a nice, crisp, refreshing.
That's like a beer.
It is like a beer. Beer and meat and knives and women. Right? Right. Cheers, everybody. Stick around for a bit. We're going to be talking about, I don't know, what are we talking about?
We were talking about like sequels and
Oh, they confirmed. I don't know if we talked about this yet. Did we talk about the actress from Justified playing Abby in Last of Us?
I think we mentioned it.
You know the girl, I think she was in season 2. She worked. Her
What did she
dad.
do?
Her dad worked for that lady who ran all the shit. She had the two sons that were kind of fuck ups. Not Dewey. The one guy, Raylan, busted his leg up when they were kids.
Right.
Yeah, the mom had this guy killed, and then took in the guy's daughter. After they had him killed, they threw him down the mine shaft, and she said, "Oh, I sent your daddy away on business," and she like basically adopted this girl because she always wanted a daughter, right? And then she became a reoccurring character in the show, and Raylan's always bailing her out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she got cast to play Abby.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Now, she doesn't have the physicality, but she definitely has the attitude. She can play Abby. She doesn't need to be as physically built as Abby because she'll carry that energy. Who knows? Maybe she'll want to hit the gym to kind of do the character justice. I don't know. But I don't expect her to go through a giant fucking transformation to look like a female bodybuilder.
I mean, if she's really into her role, she would do what fucking Russell Crowe would do. Nope.
And come back from the dead?
Go to the gym.
Go to the gym. You ever see that guy?
Get pregnant.
Buy a
Some
gym
weights.
membership. Go work out. Get someone pregnant. Oh man, my in-laws are in. They're on vacation right now, so I've got the truck.
Costa Rica.
Yeah, they're in Costa Rica, so I've got the truck, and like every time I see the truck in the garage, I'm just like,
Who do they know that has bought the rentals or whatever in Costa Rica?
oh, that's a friend of my wife's. So
It's a friend of your wife's.
yeah, you know how I told you that we're planning to move out east,
Yeah.
and that originally we considered Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a friend of Nat's, they sold everything and they moved to Costa Rica, and then Nat was like, "Oh, we could do something like that." So that they went and did it,
Yeah.
right? Just kind of out of nowhere.
And they bought like a thing where they rent like a motel or something.
Yeah, it's like it's a big Airbnb style thing.
Yeah.
They got like Miller. They got I think three units that they rent out, and that's what they do. That's their job now. They that's what pays their bills. They have people come in and out. I mean, it's a cool idea. I didn't want to. I wouldn't want to uproot to a completely different country. MCD. Light shark. But yeah, that's who they know out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd still like to go.
Is that where they're at or somewhere else?
I don't think they're staying there. No. I mean, they probably went and visited.
Yeah.
But yeah. Costa Rica, good times. But yeah, I got the truck in the garage, so yeah, anytime I go out there to tinker or do stuff, it's like, yeah, move north. Got my truck. Truck's in the garage. Good to have.
Stay tuned.
You never know what's going to happen on the Double D podcast.
Little Mama.
Little Mama. I'm trying to think if there are any other sequels. I know that some shit's been announced. And now I'm like drawing a blank on everything. But,
Of course. So now we're live on TikTok.
yeah. And the people live, they want to know what's going on. But I'm I don't know of any sequels coming out, but I am excited to say I'm almost done Justified. I'm on season 6 now, and I'm about halfway through it. And I gotta say, it's a good show, but it probably went on too long.
I wouldn't worry about watching Primeval.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to because I mean you've kind of given me the. I take your opinion seriously, and if you're telling me it's not worth watching,
I love Justified, but Primeval City.
Yeah, no, I'd rather watch Deadwood again.
Yes, I didn't even get through Deadwood.
I liked Deadwood. It ended too soon. It did 3 seasons, and when I watched the second season, I thought it was just a really long season because I had it on a hard drive. Season 1 was in a file, season 2 was in a file, and I'm watching season 2, and I'm watching. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of episodes in season 2, and it ended, and I'm like, oh shit, I got to watch season 3, and I had to find it somewhere else, and then I'm like, I've already fucking watched this, and it was like season 2 and 3 were just lumped together.
Yeah.
So then I realized there's no more Deadwood. And I had it in my head there was another season, but there wasn't. And then they did a movie.
Right.
And they didn't do the movie until like 15, 20 years later, it felt like. And I watched the movie, and it was cool to see everybody again and see kind of how things ended up.
Yeah.
No. It made me feel like I wouldn't recommend it as much after having seen that. I wouldn't be like sometimes you watch a show, and the whole time you're watching it, you're telling people about it. Oh, it's a fucking great show. You should check it out. You should check it out. And you watch the final season, and then you just stop telling people to watch it. That's what happened to me with Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, that kind of Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, I would always recommend it to people, and then I finished watching it. Same with Lost, Sons of Anarchy.
I never really got into Lost.
You saved yourself a fucking headache.
But Breaking Bad was a good one. Good series.
Breaking Bad's a good series. It didn't overstay its welcome. And we've talked about it before. Loved Breaking Bad, didn't love El Camino. I felt like Jesse deserved an ending, and I didn't love
Escaping Alaska.
I didn't love El Camino. I felt like they probably had 20 scripts of what happens to Jesse after, and they picked that one. And it's like, but I bet there were 12 more that were better. Same thing happened to Alien 3. There were so many versions of Alien 3 before they filmed Alien 3, and it's like, that's what you went with? Fuck. All right.
Santa
Clarita Diet.
Yeah.
That was good. And again, it got canceled. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it didn't have I don't know. I haven't looked up, because I've talked to a couple of people about this. Anytime I talk about Justified, we get talking about Timothy Olyphant, and then people are always mentioning, oh, did you ever see the Santa Clarita Diet?
Shit.
I feel like it's a show that I've never heard anyone complain about, but it got canceled.
Nobody saw it.
Yeah.
Until it was canceled. I know.
And me and Nat watched it right when the first season came out. Because, again, I love him, and she loves Drew Barrymore, and the concept kind of drew her in. And I love Nathan Fillion.
That was funny.
He played such a sleazeball, but I love that he just became the severed head that they kept around.
Buried him, then they dig him up. What would you feel?
And what's funny is Alan Tudyk took over because Nathan Fillion couldn't do it anymore. So they did the whole thing where his voice got fucked up, and then it was a different voice. And that was Alan Tudyk taking over, and they actually know each other, and Nathan Fillion recommended him.
Right.
Because they did Firefly together. And he was also in Justified. He had a great character that left the show way too early, but he was a hitman who came into town, and he was cleaning house, and there was a scene where Art, Raylan's boss, was in a diner meeting with some people, and he runs into him in the parking lot, and then he ends up coming in anyway, and they almost have a big shootout. Yeah. Alan Tudyk played a good, creepy character in that. But yeah, good times. It's all connected. All these guys are connected because they've all done multiple things together. Yeah, I wonder if it's that. Like the actors know each other and they recommend each other, because I know sometimes that's what happens.
Well, I know the guy that plays the bad guy, Walter Goggins.
Yeah,
he plays the bad guy in Justified.
Yeah,
he's
Boyd
Devereaux.
Crowder.
Boyd Crowder.
Boyd Crowder. Well, I do say, if you cannot remember the name of Boyd Crowder, Mr. Taylor, then you and I are going to have a bit of a problem.
Very good. So
Such a great actor.
When he was the snake fucking guy, he wasn't going to do the role. He didn't want to do the role and everything. And Timothy Olyphant went out there and sat down with him and stuff.
Talked about him?
Yeah, basically.
See, and I love Boyd Crowder. I think he's a great character. I just felt like there was so much, like the first season was very much, it felt like their story, and I liked it when it was the story of them. Their stories were intertwined. as the show went on, it's like they established all these characters, and now every character needs to have their own story. And it felt like this doesn't feel like Raylan Givens' fucking show anymore. It's like there's so many other storylines going on, and yeah, I guess it keeps it fresh, but
it was kind of like there was a main story that stretched out to the whole thing.
yeah.
But during that, each episode had its own internal story.
Yeah, and that's
Right?
fine. That's great.
But a bit of the overall story was also attached to each episode.
Yeah. But it also felt like, did Dewey need to have a fucking arc through the whole damn show? Like, he was in a couple episodes, and I thought, oh, that's funny. I hope they bring him back. You know, him and when he like punched or Raylan punched him out in the car or something, driving him to prison. I was like, oh, there's all these like weird little redneck characters. I hope they come back. And then it's like by season 4 and 5,
he was in your Mr. Nobody or whatever show, the Australian Hitman one. He told me to watch it. The short things.
Mr. Nobody?
I don't know. What's that one you're talking about?
Mr. In Between?
Yeah.
Who was in it?
Who was the guy that set him up?
Oh,
was
shit,
he
I don't
in
know.
Justified?
I don't know. There's so many.
Okay, go on. Keep going on. I'll look it up.
But no, like when I was watching season 4 and 5, I think it just felt like the show had gotten so far away from things going on with Rayland, and there were all these other things, all these other characters with these storylines, and it's like I feel like it would have been a better show if they'd focused more on the. I really wanted the sniper. The guy, the marshal who'd been a sniper. He worked in Raylan's office. There was two. There was the black girl and there was the white guy.
Right.
They were the other two marshals. They never really had a lot of stories. But all these like redneck hickey characters did. And it's just there was so much going on that didn't feel like it was.
They were all characters from Ray's childhood, right?
Yeah,
he grew up
a
there.
lot
And
of
they were
them.
all, he became a good guy, and they all stayed in their criminal ways.
It just felt like in some cases they were padding the runtime with giving
No, not Mr. Nobody. Mr. Nobody? No. What's that the Australian one? The
Mr. In Between.
Mr. In Between.
Yeah.
Mr. Nobody.
And again, when I recommended it to you, it doesn't flow like other TV shows.
No.
It doesn't. The scene doesn't go on when you think it might. It flashes up to the next scene, and you realize a bunch of shit happened. Like there's one scene where he thumps a couple of guys, and then you see the cop car kind of pull to a stop, and he's like, "Ah, shit!" And the next scene you see is him getting out of jail. They don't show him getting arrested, getting taken away. They don't show any of that. They just show the aftermath of it, and then all of a sudden he's in anger management. They don't show him getting told he has to take anger management. He's just there.
Yeah. This dude, Damien, he was Freddy. This dude here.
Freddy. Oh, yeah, that's Dewey.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's in your
He's the guy
Mr. In Between.
He sets him up?
At the very beginning of the pool, he sends the guy to some farmhouse, and his buddy gets shot, and he's the guy that sent him there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while since I watched it.
Yeah,
and again, I watched it before
he's
Justified.
in Justified as Dewey. He plays Dewey in Justified.
And again, I like Dewey Crow. Yeah, people are going to know. They're going to know about Dewey Crow. It's like I felt like he got way too much screen time. Again, he was a funny character, but funny in doses. Not everybody needs a full arc every episode type thing. And Dewey had a lot going on in the last couple seasons, and then he got, the fate that he received. It was like, okay. It's like I wasn't even sad to see him go. It was like, finally. Like, we were done with that. I feel like we were done with that a long time ago.
Well,
I don't know.
fucking overanalyze. Just fucking enjoy the
I
fucking
did
show,
enjoy
man.
it. It just, I really enjoy watching Raylan do shit. I enjoy when he teams up with the other marshals. I enjoy seeing their stories. Like, I love that Art had more story in the later seasons. But, I don't know. Complaints and grievances, gripes, and bullshit. To Raylan. I'm almost done. I guess there was a little part of me that always hoped the show would take on more Raylan and Boyd. Raylan is like the yin yang, right? Boyd's got some good in him, but he's got a whole lot of bad. And Raylan's good, but has a little bit of bad in him. And that it would be about them kind of working together.
Right.
You know, like I always thought there was an episode I think where they had to like depend on each other to get out of a situation. They had to like fight their way out, working together. And I was like, I love that idea of a cop and a criminal having to rely on each other, even though they're from completely different worlds. And I don't know. I guess I always hoped that it would steer more towards that, but it didn't. Raylan's doing his shit and Boyd's doing his shit, and sometimes they crash into each other. Yeah. And Wynn Duffy. I love Wynn Duffy. The guy with the fucking crazy eyebrows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another good reoccurring character.
What have you seen fucking lately? I told you a few things we've watched on fucking Netflix and all that.
Well, shit. Again, I've been watching Justified. I've been, me and Nat watched our most recent season of Hell's Kitchen, which we always enjoy. Shit. What else have I watched? Both Wreck-It Ralph movies. All 3 Cars movies. Been watching a lot of that shit. No, I don't know. I can't remember the last time I like sat down and watched a movie and thought, oh, I really wanted to fucking watch this movie.
We watched. It's called 2 movies. One's called The Hill. It's on Netflix. It's a true story about a kid from a religious family in the 70s and all that, wanted to play ball, had braces on his legs like fucking Forrest Gump and everything, and made it to the minors. It's his story. It's a good story. It's interesting. It's one of those inspiring, good family stories.
And those are good.
The other one is called Spinning Gold. It's about a movie producer, this guy from New York and all that, and started his own record company and everything, and basically ran up in debt. Like the what was the name of the Casablanca Records?
Nice.
And they signed Kiss first, and then they had Donna Summers and all that, and they basically ran up in debt, like millions of dollars in the 70s. They were like $5-6 million in debt. They finally broke free, and at the end, they sold half the business, 49% to Paramount or something.
Nice.
But all his buddies that that believed in him and followed him all the way up, he didn't fuck them over, and he gave them all an equal share of what they got at the end and stuff. It's really cool, inspiring, cool story. Music. If you're into the music business and that kind of shit, yeah, it's interesting.
Interesting.
He was a go-getter and always was doing things different. Fuck, well, let's paint the building so they think fucking we get shit going on. Everybody will be talking about us. So they got guys outside just painting the building. Oh, they must be making money. Something's going on over there because they're sprucing things up and just fucking shit like that.
Sometimes
right?
that's all it takes. While you were saying that, I did remember there was something Nat and I watched because of the classic. I saw a clip of it and then I looked the movie up. That's how I found a number of movies I might never have otherwise heard of. I saw this clip and it's of a guy getting woken up by his teenage daughter, and she's like, "Mom's gone," and he's like, "What?" It's like, "Yeah, I can't find Mom. We need to go to school." And so this guy wakes up, and you can tell he's never had to take care of his kids in the morning, right? He's like a businessman. So he's rushing to get his kids ready and get them all into the van, and he's dropping his kids off at high school, and he's like, "Oh, wait, you got to take your sister with you." And they're like, "Dad, she's in kindergarten. She doesn't go to high school." And he's like, Right. So he drops her off, takes her to kindergarten, doesn't have her lunch. He gave his older kids money for the cafeteria, doesn't have any food for his kid in kindergarten. She's having a fucking panic attack. He's talking to the teacher. He's just like, "Can you just order her a pizza or something?" And she's like, "No, we can't do that." He's like, "Well, could you get all the kids in the class to just share some of their lunch?" And he's just having a full-blown fucking panic attack. And it wasn't in the clip, but when you're actually watching the movie, you see him go out and he's losing his fucking mind because he doesn't know where his wife is. And he gets in the car and he's just hammering the steering wheel. He's like, that fucking bitch! You fucking gun fucking bitch! Where the fuck did you go? You leave me with these fucking kids! He's losing his mind. He stops and looks in the rearview mirror. And one of his kids is still in the van. The kid's in like grade 3. He's like, oh, hey, buddy. Hey.
Yeah.
I didn't see you there. Oh, well, where's your school? This is my school, Dad. You forgot about me. He's like, no, I didn't forget about you. So this movie is called Bitch. Bitch, but the I is an exclamation mark. And it's on Tubi. And that was the only place we could watch it. And it's a story, that you can tell, of
That sounds funny.
a guy who's a businessman, very, very high up, kind of neglectful, isn't always around his kids, doesn't listen to his wife. His wife is like depressed, like severely depressed. The opening scene of the movie is her trying to kill herself. Like,
Right.
she's extremely depressed. And the only reason she doesn't kill herself is she's trying to hang herself from a lamp or from a light, and the light breaks.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that somewhere. She's trying to hang herself and the fucking just pulls right off the fucking
She's
ceiling.
choking on it for a while and then it breaks.
Yeah.
And the gist of the movie is that she's like telling her husband she's scared she's going to do something. Like she's like ready to lose her mind because he's fucking cheating on her and he's never home. And yeah, again, suburban mom who's about to lose her fucking mind. And they think she just left, that she's gone. And what they eventually realize is she's in the basement and she thinks that she's a dog. She's gone so fucking nuts and has had such a bad mental break that she has regressed into an animal state, and she's in the basement, naked, covered in her own shit, acting like a dog.
Isn't that how they want people to be these days, though? Like,
Not a fun dog, a feral, aggressive dog smears
animal.
its shit all over everybody.
that's
There's
right.
a number of scenes where people go in the basement to try and like assess her, and they come up and they're talking to the husband, and they just got shit on their face, shit on their clothes. And at one point, he's talking to his doctor. He's like, "I sedated her." He's like, "Well, what's your recommendation? What do we do?" He's like, "Well, I don't really know now. I'll need some time to think about it." And the guy keeps asking him questions, and he's like, "Listen, I've got human shit on my face. Do you mind if I go wash up?"
Jesus.
It was an interesting movie. However, it was long, and there were certain things that were decided and certain things characters did that, yes, sometimes you don't agree with what a character does, but sometimes they do something and you're like, what? That's just fucking stupid. Why? And that stupid decision goes on for a really long time, and you're like, what? How? Why? What? And Nat and I both, we're like, what the fuck are they doing?
I'll tell you a stupid fucking thing that fucking pisses me off that fucking the characters do all the fucking time in movies.
Tell me.
When somebody's trying to kill them and they're fighting for their lives and they finally fucking hit the guy in the head with a bat or something, the guy fucking falls down and you go, oh, and they walk away. No, fucking kill him.
Fucking finish him off. Yeah, I can't stand that shit. You got him down.
Finish him.
They wouldn't show
Put a couple
you that
more
mercy.
into him. Boom, boom, boom.
Every time Batman lets the Joker go, or not lets him go, but sends him to jail. Guess what? He's gonna get out and kill more innocent people. Fuckwit.
This guy's been trying to kill you. He fell down the stairs, hit his head, and you're like, whew, everything's good now?
And you know what's worse is that then the movie
Look,
has a
pick up
scene
brick and
happen
crush his head.
where the person, the good guy doesn't kill the bad guy, but the bad guy dies by accident. Like something happens, and yes, the bad guy's dead, but not because the good guy killed him, because he tripped on something and fell out a window. That happens all the time, where they want to spare the hero from being a killer, so they have the bad guy die some stupid way, or they like they kill themselves out of grief. Just kill the fucking bad guy. That's why I love that scene in Deadpool. You ever see Deadpool?
I don't know.
He spent the whole movie looking for this guy Francis, who tortured him, did all this horrible shit to him, kidnapped his girlfriend. Been fucking with him the whole movie, and he's about to kill him. And then Colossus is like giving him this big speech about forgiving an enemy It's the right thing to do. It'll make you feel so much better. And when he's in the middle of the speech, Wade just fucking shoots Ajax. And Colossus starts throwing up. He's like, why? It's like, you were droning. You're just going on and on. Yeah, definitely kill the fucking bad guy. You get the upper hand, kill their ass. Has there ever been a time where a good guy killed a bad guy and you were just like, yes.
Always.
Always. Nat says I get way too excited when that happens. Bad guy's got to die.
Boy swallows world.
Is there a lot of that?
Not a lot of it, but
Can you think of the most satisfying time the good guy killed the bad guy? Like, what moment made you go, fuck yes?
God, I don't know. Put me on a spot.
I like putting you on the spot. It's good for you. I've already got 2.
2 spots.
Oh, one on my butt? No, I've got 2 movies where I was like very happy when the good guy killed the bad guy. Oh shit! No, I forgot one. No, I got them back.
Okay, what are they?
Well, first one missed when the bag boy shoots Mother Cromandy when she's trying to get them to sacrifice the son, the little boy, and the guy just boom shoots her in the stomach. Fucking jar of milk she's holding spills all over the floor, and then he pops her one in the head. Yeah, that was very satisfying. The theater cheered. That's not missed in theaters, and people cheered when Mother Cromandy got shot.
Makes sense.
Yeah. The other is in Taken. When Liam Neeson's killed like 80 men, 80 people trying to get to his daughter, and then he finally gets to the rich billionaire guy who's purchased his daughter, and he's got him at gunpoint, and the guy's like, we can negotiate. Boom! Shoots him in the fucking head. Kills him. No negotiation.
Good.
You just purchased my daughter, you sick fuck. Now you're dead. Yeah, those are some of the really good ones, I think.
Awesome.
Probably not my top 10, but those are the first ones that come to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll discuss that on episode 22. We'll come back to most satisfying times the good guy killed the bad guy.
Yeah, I have to go back and look. So many fucking movies, all kind of can't separate them all.
Yeah.
I have to think about them.
But it's like it's that idea though that like some audiences might want the bad guy spared or for him to go to jail. I'm never satisfied when the bad guy goes to jail. You know what pissed me off? You ever watch Gran Torino?
Mm-hmm.
At the end, I wanted them to go into that house and kill all those fucking gang members. That's what I wanted to happen. And then he shows up and he makes it so that they all shoot him. He dies.
So they all go to jail. Yeah.
Clint Eastwood dies and they go to jail. And I looked at my wife and I was like, that's fucking stupid. These criminals are going to go to jail, hang out with other criminals, and when they come out, they're going to be better criminals. Like that to me was not a happy ending. Those fucking guys are going to go, they're not going away for a long time. They're going away for what, 10 years? They come out and then they're fucking more dangerous. The streets are even more dangerous.
I don't know. In the States where they are, they could be going away for life. Life is in the States. Life is life. Life isn't 25 fucking years and on good behavior.
Yeah, but like he got shot by like 8 or 9 different people, probably.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. It felt like
no, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The idea of they're going to jail now. They're no longer a danger to society. It's like no, they're still alive. They can still do a lot of fucking damage. And anytime there's a sequel, guess what happens? They get out and they do a lot of damage.
Oh,
well. Well. We're over the 2-hour mark.
2 hours. There you go.
2 hours, 8 minutes, and a whole lot of. We didn't have like a solid theme or anything. It was just a catch up. Heinz 57.
It was the Heinz 57 episode.
It was.
Episode 22.
21.
Oh, yeah.
She's legal.
The Gambler.
You gotta know when to hold up. Know when to fold
I'd like to thank Muskoka and Collingwood breweries for putting those fucking beers and the liquor in the fridge.
I'd like to thank this one just a little more.
I'd like to thank MGD for fucking
We're rounding
getting
out the night.
inside Dan's bag and PJ's meats for popping out of his bag.
Thank you, PJ, for your sweet meat.
Good boar, good elk.
You can hang out with my bag anytime. Cause I'm TNT.
And on that note,
Move north.
buy a truck,
Get somebody pregnant.
theme song.
Is it actually going to play, or are you just going to add it in?
No, I'll be added in.
Sweet.
Bye.
Action,